You represent Ohio here in Washington, and your state's governor is asking for federal help to deal with the influx of about 15,000 migrants over the past 4 years, which has strained the health system, he says, schools, caused safety issues. You've been talking about these problems, but what have you done to help Governor DeWine with his request for federal help?
Well, the most important thing that we can do to assist Governor DeWine and the whole state of Ohio, and frankly the whole country, Margaret, is to stop Kamala Harris's open border. And for 2 years, I've been fighting for policies that do exactly that. You have to ask yourself, why have these 20,000 Haitian migrants been dropped into a small Ohio town in just a few years, Margaret? And the answer is because Kamala Harris implemented what's called temporary protective service for over 100,000 Haitian migrants. She basically, with a magic wand, granted amnesty to thousands of people who shouldn't have been in this country, and now a small Ohio town is dealing with the consequences. And to anybody listening, Margaret, this is what Kamala Harris wants to do to every town in this country. Overwhelm them with migration, stress their municipal budgets, see communicable diseases on the rise. What is happening in Springfield is coming to every town and city in this country. If Kamala Harris's open border policies are allowed to continue, we have got to stop this. American citizens are suffering because of what she's done. And
here's the fact. Yeah, here's the facts, though. Many of those Haitian migrants move there by choice because they have temporary protected status, which gives them the ability to work. That TPS, temporary protective status, has been in place since 2010. And in fact, Donald Trump renewed temporary protective status for Haitians when he was president. Should he not have done that?
Well, let me do a little fact check, Margaret, because there was a renewal in June of 2017, I believe, which was very early in Donald Trump's presidency.
Yes.
And he actually ended it in 2018, that temporary protective service for Haitian migrants. Kamala Harris re-implemented it when she became president or vice president. Kamala Harris re-implemented it as vice president, and now you've seen this massive explosion just in the last few years. I mean, Margaret, just to give some context here, there were maybe 1,000 Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio just 3 years ago. Now there's close to 20,000, and it's impossible to overstate. It's overwhelmed local services.
Okay,
in
so
schools,
I understand you want to end
1,000 children now in a small district.
You want to end temporary protective status.
Please contextualize this, Margaret, because 1,000 children who don't speak English. So now the kids who are in that school district are not getting a good education. The local health services have become overwhelmed. This is a terrible tragedy. And I think it's important, Margaret, to say we're not mad at Haitian migrants for wanting to have a better life. We're angry at Kamala Harris for letting this happen to a small Ohio town.
Well, Governor DeWine has been calling attention to it and asking for federal help. On September 9th, you amplified what you said yourself were rumors about Haitian migrants eating pets. Donald Trump then claimed those were facts, and he repeated them to 67 million people on the debate stage this past week. In Springfield yesterday, 2 hospitals went into lockdown after police were alerted to a bomb threat. On Friday, 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school were evacuated. Thursday, an elementary school was also evacuated, and Springfield City Hall had to evacuate due to a bomb threat made by someone who said they were concerned about immigration. These false claims are endangering your constituents. Do you regret your words?
Well, Margaret, first of all, we condemn all violence and condemn all threats of violence. I want whoever made these threats to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But we don't believe, Margaret, in a heckler's veto in this country. You can condemn violence on the one hand while also saying that there have been terrible problems caused by Kamala Harris's open border in Springfield. Now, you said that these are false rumors. Well, I've heard about a dozen things from my constituents in Springfield, Ohio. 10 of them are verifiable and confirmable. A couple of them we have direct firsthand accounts of, for example, migrants abducting geese at the local park and slaughtering them and eating them. Now, maybe all of these constituents are lying to me, but I would appreciate if the American media showed up and did some real investigation rather than amplifying the worst people in the world. Why is somebody calling it a bomb threat, Margaret? It's because they want attention. I think that we should ignore these ridiculous psychopaths who are threatening violence on a small Ohio town and focus on the fact that we have a vice president who's not doing her job in protecting that small Ohio town.
Okay. Well, CBS did hear from community members in Springfield who work with migrants, and they have talked about security concerns. I know the mayor